Good morning and welcome to the program Perspectives. This morning, we're going the health way, and of course, Tuesdays and Thursdays sponsored programs from the Kaduna State Ministry of Health. And what we'll be doing here is talking about COVID-19, where we are with it at national and state level. But, let's start with a cheering note here that this is coming from the federal government, that COVID-19, its spread increase has declined. And, of course, coming from the Secretary to Federal Government, Boss Mustafa, that this is cheering news, and this is to say that we are winning the war against COVID-19. But again, can we, let off or stay off our guards? We'll get to find out. My guest this morning by phone, Dr. Rabiu Mohammed. He is the team lead, case management of COVID-19 in Kaduna State. Dr. Rabiu Mohammed, good morning and glad to have you with us.
Good morning. I'm glad to be with you.
All right. I just started off this way, Doctor, that coming from the national space, and that's talking about the cheering news coming from the federal government that we may be winning the war against COVID-19 with the declining cases that we're seeing. This is coming from the Secretary to the federal government. He's also telling Nigerians or telling us all that all we need to do is to stay committed to the protocols on ground, and of course that we can really win the war. We're also getting it that the vaccine for treatment of COVID-19 may be coming out at the turn of the year. But again, a general overview about the situation we have at the national space and at state level.
Yes, okay. So generally, he's right. The Secretary, the federal government saying that, the head of task force on COVID-19 is right. We are going down the control of the disease, getting less cases, and that's a good sign. And we are hoping also we get the vaccine as early as possible and see how it goes. So, generally, it's been a very hectic task about the will of God. We are able to control the thing, and we haven't less incidents in spite of the difficulty you have trying to get people to abide by the protocols. So, like you said, protocols following safe distancing, social distancing, hand sanitizer, use of sanitizer, hand washing, and use of face masks. We still go a long way in tackling this pandemic, because we're not seeing the end of it yet.
Yeah, but Doctor, what is coming out from Kaduna State? Again, we know that there's decline at national level, but again for Kaduna State, what are we looking at?
No, it's still declining too. It's declining. It's declining from the last few weeks. It's seen a decline in the not because of testing. We're still testing, but we're getting fewer positive cases, and that's a good sign.
Yes, on testing, this is coming out, coming from the state governor, Malam Nasser El-Rufai, addressing Northern State traditional rulers. He had come to say that, treatment for COVID-19, 400,000, and there's a lot of money, and some people have said, and of course, people are still presenting themselves for the treatment. But again, here, kudos should go to the state government for what it's doing, and of course with the campaign that we're having on radio, television about staying safe and of course keeping the protocols. What are you saying about this huge amount that for treatment of one patient of COVID-19?
Yes, actually we sat down. It was a task given to us. We sat down and analyzed the cost of this management of COVID-19 patients. Starts from the way to do for the testing, when you trace, surveillance goes there, uses their vehicle, use their phone, everything, and go and trace any rumor or any contact. Just the sampling, taking the sample costs about 25 to 30,000 now, and then that's the test. And then you evacuate the patient to the center. You manage the patient, you feed the patient. Feeding is always about something thousand. I think the analysis is given. So we sat down and look at everything, including payment of personnel, taking care of the all logistics and everything, drugs, apart from the COVID-19 drugs, patients come with other sicknesses and we have to manage them, diabetes, a lot of them, hypertension. And so if you look at all the things happening, you look at an average per patient consume even more than 400, and that's an average we're getting. But if you look at it very well, even beyond that. So I think the government is doing quite a lot. I think the population should complement by keeping to the protocols.
Yeah, again, let's look at the stage of treatment. We hear now that home treatment is there, and of course coming to facilities of government. So at these two stages, what are the things to look at when we want to stay at home for treatment of the patient or coming to government facilities?
Yes, so we the home treatment is the aim thing worldwide. Especially for asymptomatic patients that are not symptomatic and they have a facility, a home they can stay and remain indoors for the period, the days because they are selected. So they have to satisfy the criteria. We normally when we have a patient who's not symptomatic, very symptomatic, we don't have any problems with him, associated symptoms, any life-threatening symptoms. We go and look at his house and whether he can afford to stay. He will not be able to go out to look for food every day. We'll be able to isolate himself from himself or from other members of his family. The whole family that is infected, we keep them all together. It's a lot easier for the government because feeding now of government is only drugs and tests and other things that we do that we now take care of. So if you do not satisfy that criteria, we have to take you to the isolation center. And this is basically within the interiors and then the local population. Some are living in 1 or 2 room apartments. And they expect them to stay there for days on their own. So that's why the home monitoring is a very good welcome development for us. Initially it was not easy, but now we have more patients on the outside than on the inside on the isolation centers. So it's a welcome development, and we are doing well with that.
Yeah, looking at lifestyles too, how these is affecting or how these may keep us close, keep COVID-19 away from us. Our lifestyles, these are things that we'll be doing normal life when we were at a normal life, but how lifestyle is affecting the spread of COVID-19?
Our lifestyle goes on. It's just that the pandemic has really made us to really restructure our lives. Right now, people are not used to washing hands, used to keeping some distance, and to some extent, and it's becoming part of us. So we just have to adapt to the new life that we're faced with. You have to, if you want to stay safe, you want to be well, you have to keep some protocol, and it becomes part of us. Like I said, pandemic is likely to this coronavirus is likely to stay with us. Maybe it becomes a normal thing. That's the new life we find ourselves.
Okay, we're looking at a situation where we have our markets opened now. These are, areas where we find people in large numbers. Reopening of schools, fully reopening our schools. This debate, has come as a debate all over now. That could we afford to have our schools opened now? Because some people argue that they can, take care of all the protocols. The protocols can be observed, in school. But again, from your point of view, and especially as a team lead of management of cases of COVID-19 in Kaduna State, having our schools fully reopened, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, like we all expect, when you have population, people gathering in large numbers, it's likely to not only have an upsurge of this sickness. So invariably, schools and other markets are likely to be high index areas. But we still have to, like I said, we still have to find a new way of going on ahead with our lives. And we cannot keep the schools closed completely. So we have to gradually open them and then follow strict protocols, keep COVID-19 protocols so that we minimize spread and especially we have to be wary of, be careful with our older teachers that are more vulnerable and are more at risk when they get the infection than even the children and the students. So we still have to have a very gradual of opening schools and then look forward again to maybe hopefully we don't get enough surge if we keep to the protocols.
And looking at living with ourselves, and we know of people who still don't believe that coronavirus is real, and of course there are those who believe that it is real and trying to keep to protocols that have been put on ground. But for these people, and we have a mix of them in the society, how we can for those that believe that yes, it's real and want to be safe. So how do we, manage ourselves with this mix of people who may not believe that it's real, or will say that they have their own treatment for it?
Yeah, I actually there's nothing one can do about these people. These people like exist all over the world, whether in a developed country or developing country, they're all over. You can see people follow trends worldwide. It's like that. But we still have to force some form of discipline and some form of restraint, on the side of the government and the side of people and all the people that are well, these illnesses. And we still have to get along with them. There's nothing we can do. You on your own, you just stay safe, and keep your feet, and then I think things are going to work out fine. But you cannot stop those that do not believe in this thing. And it cuts across all borders. And there's nothing we can do about that.
I just want to pick on the protocols that have been put in place. Let's talk about the face mask. Yes, at the time we saw, almost everyone would go for the face mask, but we're seeing a decline of that now. That people would just say, there's nothing to worry about or no fear, because coronavirus may, have disappeared. But the protocols, can you take us through the protocols again and why we must, observe the protocols?
Well, the protocols are really not easy to it's very difficult to comply. It's just that people are very resistant to this kind of thing. And there's a belief, like we said, wearing face masks is not easy. Some people are used to it, but we're trying to get used to it. Breathing through a face mask is not really easy. So we find it, you have to compel them to put it. But even just social distancing, stay away from crowds. If you cannot even wear the face mask, stay away from close contact with people that can cough or sneeze or something like that, or even talking. So if you cannot wear a face mask, you wear out of the so you have to wear a face mask if you have to enter the crowd. And then whatever you do, touch things, touch objects, hard surfaces, you need to regularly clean your hands, wash your hands, or wear sanitizer, spray sanitizer. Keep that distance. That's just the protocol that you have to go about in order to stay safe. If you really believe in this sickness, it is really real and it's there. It's in the air and anybody can get it. Because we that are managing the center, we see them every day and they contact all cadres. So the best way to stay safe is to maintain that, continue to use a face mask, even just the cloth mask. Now the cloth mask at least gives some protection, 20 to 30%. The other surgical mask gives you around 60%. If your neighbor who is talking to you wear the face mask, you wear a face mask, you have 50% protection, you have 50% protection. But if he is wearing the face mask, you are not wearing, at least you have half protection at least. But if both of you are not wearing the face mask, so you have a high chance of getting the infection. So try and use the face mask as regularly as possible. Please, if you have to enter a crowd, if you come to your house, you can remove your face mask. And even for us, health workers, it's not easy for us to, but we have to do it. It's for our own good, it's for our own health. So that's it about the face mask. And then wearing and washing of hands. That's taught people to really upgrade their hygiene and all that. And it's good. I don't know why people just don't want to abide by that rule.
Yeah, okay. The situation in Kaduna North. At the time, Kaduna North was said that we were having, cases of coronavirus in Kaduna North, and of course it went down to Kaduna South. What's the situation now with the local government areas?
Well, now it's spread across all local government. The last local government was Biningwari and some other areas, but eventually we're also here. Right now, we're opening a center in Biningwari. Our people have just left today. They're going to establish a center there because we started having cases there. But every local government has some cases now. Not as much as because you think that we consider the density. These are four urban, just these four local governments that are close to the city. We got the Kaduna South, Kaduna North, and Chikun. They have the highest number because of the density of people. So it's now cutting across all local governments, down to Jemaah, down to everywhere. We have cases, but not as much as in high density areas like Kaduna North, South, and Kaduna and Chikun.
Well, the situation again that we're having is about how informed we all are about COVID-19. Of course, we've been talking through radio, television, and the newspapers, all carrying the message of coronavirus and its reality with us. Again, we're talking about ailments that we know that we can go to the neighborhood doctor around us. Some people would say that it just can be treated with malaria symptoms and COVID symptoms, and they find themselves with the neighborhood doctor. Again, about this, that some form of ailments that have been associated with having malaria and COVID-19, how do we get to separate them?
Well, COVID-19 is a viral infection, and it's like any other common cold, except that it's more severe. Because the virus just belongs to the coronavirus class that causes the common cold, coryza, or catarrh. But this one is really, it's a special variant, a special form that is more virulent, more dangerous. So it's difficult to differentiate, except that the severity of the headache and when the symptoms are coming. But sometimes you have a lot of people getting infected without symptoms. So when you have the symptom, fever, a cough, or chest pain, or difficulty breathing, the best thing is to just seek help from experts. Don't go to a local health, local traditional healer or chemist to treat yourself. Because it can be life-threatening. We've lost many patients, including doctors and nurses and other people that are really infected with that. So I think we should be more careful. We should be wary of just personal treatment either at home or nearby chemist. Coronavirus is more dangerous than just ordinary coryza or common cold.
Yes, I am talking about where we go for treatment. How does private hospitals save now for us to for people to go for checkups or whatever on coronavirus?
Well, private hospitals right now do not personally do coronavirus tests, but we are working along with them. We make sure we've done some training for their staff, because they are at risk. They are the ones that hide as risk, because people patient come in there and they're not aware. So they need to, when they have suspects, they should notify us. Normally we go there, we take samples, and then if the patient is sick, we evacuate the patient from the center, we disinfect the center. So they help us, but managing the COVID patient is not easy. We only advocate that they have a holding area, an area they can isolate patients. Then they will come to evaluate and evacuate the patient. Sometimes we meet the patients a bit late, they are very sick, they check it, malaria, so because
Oh well, doctor, you do know that not every one of us would have the numbers to call. When we see cases of coronavirus, around us. Are there facilities that? What are the identified facilities that one can go to? With such cases.
In such cases, we have the Kakuri Isolation Center at Downwater. We have the one near Hamdala. And then you can even self from 44 different hospitals. They're all our sister hospitals. And they also have isolation centers where we can keep patients. Then we take them to a protected center. We can go to Baraduko. We have our people there. We use Dansoho, Gomu Awan, Sado. They are all even in Zaria. We have the Zaria Hotel. We have the Education Hospital. We have the Gambo Sawaba. So all these centers, even in Kafanchan, we have them. They are all working there. If you go, they'll tell you where to go. If you don't have the number, so we have we have a risk communication group that have numbers, and they share these numbers. I know not everybody can get these numbers. At least if you can pick up, go to any of the vaccination centers and seek for medical help. Or if you see anybody that you suspect, report to the person to that center. We will take action immediately.
Okay, just about time we take a break. But just before we do that, this program is sponsored by the Kaduna State Ministry of Health, and sharing thoughts with us, and is Dr. Rabiu Mohammed, team lead of case management of COVID-19 in Kaduna State. Well, Doctor, one of the things again that we worry about again that has softened out now is about health workers too. They are like us with families back home, and talking about safety for them. Are we, at a time when we can say that yes, we really are safe with our health, workers?
Well, we our health workers are really taking care of providing PPE, personal protective equipment, and other forms of protection, and then we have been taking care of. Effectively, transportation, everything is being taken care of, the feeding, taken care of. So, should be 40. We have some form of insurance, and so that is taken care of by the state government. Also, the federal government is doing one part, but we at the state level here, where the government is doing well, and providing some form of incentives and some form of insurance policy for them, and then we manage them as well for free. Everything, all management are for free at the expense of the government, of course. So that's what as far as stakeholders are concerned. It's just for you to be able to, really make yourself available once you're sick, and so that you're taking care of. Don't treat yourself at home.
Well, let's look at Kaduna State. When the whole thing broke out, Kaduna State was on top of the game, especially when we had the lockdown and all the things that were put on ground. We went into palliatives and all of that. Kaduna State stood out in taking care of its citizens. Again, when making comparison with other states, how has it been able, how have we been able to do it in Kaduna State?
Well, that was at the initial phase. The government really came out to provide palliatives. I know there were some problems, at the community level, because I think the government involved the communities. They had to really take care of sharing and distributing these items. And I think there are some form of misstrend that diverted some of this. So that I think eventually the government did some adjustments, and the second phase was much better than the first. But I think that is as far as I know for now. I don't know whether that thing is taking place again.
Oh, okay.
The market open.
All right, Dr. Rabi, we'll have to go for my commercial break now. We'll join you after the break.
Okay, thanks.
Invicta FM.
Welcome back. Here's the program Perspectives, and it's coming to you on Invicta 98.9. And we're talking about COVID-19 situation at national and state level. And this program is brought to you courtesy of Kaduna State Ministry of Health, with Dr. Rabiu Mohammed, the team lead case management of COVID-19, with us by phone. Sharing news like we started on the program. Federal government has said the COVID-19 cases is on the decline, and of course that's saying that we are winning the battle against COVID-19, and government is also saying that if we stay more committed to the protocols, we can come to the end of it. And we're also having it that vaccine for treatment of COVID may be coming out at the turn of the year. But again, we are hoping for the best to come out so we can go back to our near normal life. Okay, Doctor, just before we get our audience into it now, again, the protocols. Some people have said that the protocols, can we take one out of the so many of the protocols, or we must keep to all the protocols?
Well, the protocols are generally that, each one has its own rules, does its own work. If you can do one and you see it will suffice, especially the mask, wearing the mask and distancing.
One is more important than the other. Is that what, or
they are all important, but to wear the mask is one of the most important. At least we prevent spread of it, direct spread. It's an aerosol. An infected person would discharge millions of viruses, and if you're able to protect your face, or if you keep a distance. If you don't have a mask, you keep a distance far away, because there's a certain distance the virus can travel. So it's really not easy to keep a distance in an open market or in schools or places of work, or places of worship. So I think the mask is very good. Nowadays, I think many people don't wash their hands, but each step of protocol is important. They are just measures aimed at preventing or reducing the chance of getting infected. So I think the earlier the people adhere to these rules, the better for them and for us all.
Yeah, again, it's been said that COVID-19, it knows no color, it does not know big or small, rich or poor, but again, some of the things tied down. We hear that dieting is also part of what we must, take to, to keep ourselves away from COVID-19. And looking at us, as a society, the economic downturn that we're having, and of course, families just surviving, trying to survive, and talking about dieting, isn't this again a tall order in the fight against COVID-19?
Well, COVID-19 does not really health, diet, good diet, good food, and have a long way in producing a better form of immunity, boost your immunity. But essentially, like if we're a mild patient, we give them some multivitamins and some other forms of essential elements like vitamin C and zinc, so that at least it will boost the immunity and it helps to protect the virus from entering the cells of the body and causing harm. So feeding is important. But you cannot provide food for everybody, and you can't say everybody, like you said, the sickness, there's no rich or poor. So, but the better you eat, at least, a lot of fruits, a lot of vitamins, a lot of vegetables, and it will help to boost your immunity in case you get infected. So feeding is important, diet is important. The feasibility of achieving that is another thing entirely. Depends on the size of the pocket. But at least the basic things you can get, the cheapest you can get, the vitamins, they are very cheap. Vitamins are very cheap. Vitamin C is so cheap, but the multivitamins are cheap. You have a lot in your hand. And then, of course, a lot of green leaves and vegetables that are not really expensive for this rainy season available. So it will go a long way in boosting your immunity and helping to protect and fight against the virus.
Well, looking at it generally, Doctor, we know that when this pandemic, broke out, it hit the economies of the world, and we saw pay cuts, we saw, reduction of staff, unemployment took its toll, and of course, it hit on all sectors of the economy. We're looking at a situation where we may be going back to normal life, as it may seem, if the vaccine for treatment of it comes out. Can it take us back? Can we have a reverse of what it had done to us when we were really in it?
You mean like
yes, getting back, getting back our lives, like, the workplaces being filled up, and of course, people getting their jobs back, and of course, living becomes people can earn their livings and all of that. Now that we may be going back to our normal life.
Yes. Well, you see, places of work, establishments, companies are opening up gradually, and they have to. They have no choice. Everybody has to go and find something to eat. So lives are coming back. It may be gradual, and the government is doing all it could again to assist, in the different sectors. If you, the fact is, the companies are most hit are the airlines and other, transport agents that, involved with international transport or whatever. But they are also going to gradually come back. We're not very hit like in the Western world, even with the pandemic and with the lockdown. But I think we're gradually coming back, and I think the impact of that is much less in our society than in the Western world, where virtually almost everything was locked down. People were sacked 100% are sacked and all that. And that's a lesser extent here. And we still have to get back to our life, and it's going to go, everything will be fine. Once we're able to open up our places of work, and companies are open up, and business goes back to normal.
Okay, time we get to our audience now and be part of this conversation. Ask all the questions and what is happening around you there, your neighborhood. Who is showing signs of it? Are people really keeping to the protocols? Call us on numbers 081 40,000 989, 081 40,000 989, or 070 87 800 989. 070 87 800 989. I have a caller there. Okay, still with your calls. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, General.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Doctor. And any other person is my name.
Good morning.
I quite agree with me. First and foremost, I congratulate you to the government for a job well done to curtail this deadly disease, COVID-19. They have done so much. What is remaining now is for the citizen to monitor themselves and take necessary measures to prevent further spread. And at the same time, I want to also congratulate the government for sincerely coming out to tell us what they have spent per patient, even though it looks big for people that are not aware of how things go in government. But at the same time, I want to sincerely appreciate them. And I want to challenge other state governments to sincerely also tell us or tell Nigerians how much they spend per patient or for the entire operation. Lastly, I'm calling on all the citizens of Kaduna State and Nigeria to believe that COVID-19 is real. Let us take all the necessary measures given to us by experts in the health sector. Those advise not only COVID-19, it will further improve our health generally. God bless Nigeria. God bless our good leaders. God bless Invicta. And Mr. President, God bless you and family. Good morning.
Thank you.